Okay, is Cardi B an influencer or a celebrity?
She's a stripper.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
He's getting better with that hand.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You saw that, right?
Really good.
That was
It
good.
looked like you were about
Wow.
to slice
I've
someone.
been practicing.
That was like right on point.
I've been practicing.
Doing
How you guys doing this week?
Doing great.
Good, good.
How you
Doing great. It's a great day. Great weather. Can't
I'm
ask
doing
for
good.
anything better.
Great
Why does
weather,
Drake
yeah.
talk so much?
That's something to say.
Surprisingly,
I got something to
Surprisingly.
say, bro.
probably sad after what happened to his truck today, but okay.
No. I hit it.
That's one thing that happened.
I hit it.
Hit it where?
Front bumper. I just got this truck 2 months ago.
He's already going. to
And
the
I'm
shop.
already at this point.
I don't believe that happened. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Ask me why.
Why is that?
Because you didn't post it on social media.
Oh,
It's not real until it's on social media.
that is true.
Sheesh.
That is very true. Talking about social media, we were at the studio. We were talking about how social media has influenced people's life. What do you guys think about that?
I think it has definitely influenced a lot of people's lives. So how I just snuck that in there. Kimberly was about to speak.
Right.
Yeah, everyone always interrupts me.
I mean, the queen's supposed to take presence, right?
Yeah.
The
well,
queen's supposed to be commanding.
okay, everybody be quiet and let me talk.
So, anyways, guys, how?
Excuse me.
Bro. Just holy
Anyway,
shit.
cut that out.
I feel like you gotta put a little more bass in your voice if you're gonna say cut that out.
Okay, excuse me, everyone, pay attention to me. I'm the star here. Yes, I do think that social media has a big influence on all of us. It basically is our lives.
It's turned into part of our lives, like a part of your body at some point.
Yeah. I mean, the average human checks into social media
How-
every day. When they wake up.
What was
for real.
your average? The phone tells you what's your average on
Your
My
hour,
goal?
your screen time.
Your screen time. What was your
Oh, my
average?
screen time? I don't know, bro.
I was at 7 hours and 30 minutes
God.
this week
For the week,
for the week.
I feel that's
And how-
good.
Bro, I was down to 2
Oh, for the week?
hours. Well, for a week, yeah. to 2
I feel like
hours.
you need more friends.
Well, you heard that, Mom?
Friends,
You can
dates,
finally accept my request.
maybe dates.
Ooh, you heard what she said?
Anyway.
Facebook has this thing now. Look at this. Facebook has this thing now where you can date on there now.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
You can date on Facebook.
You can date on Facebook.
You
That's
can
how
shop on
crazy-
Facebook. You can date on Facebook. You can have friends on Facebook.
It's
Everything's
everywhere.
on Facebook nowadays.
Social media is everywhere.
Are you on there, RD?
No.
Oh, that's why he's single.
But
How's Grinder for you though?
The
Yeah.
fact that you know about Grinder though is
It's
big.
kind of disturbing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I seen your notification, so yeah.
Awkward.
For you.
Hey,
So yeah,
So-
my wife is sitting right here. So next time RD comes, don't give him any food.
Hi,
So-
Selenia. Shout out to the real Hefa.
so what do we use social media? What do you guys use?
Well,
social
before,
media?
is it a problem? Before, what do we use it for? Is social media a problem?
It's a big problem.
It can and it can't be.
I want to hear from Kimberly. I feel
Okay,
like she's like really
I
quiet.
think it's a problem when you let it consume you. You know, when
When
you
you
let
use
it
it?
affect you, when you let it take over your life.
So-
That's when it becomes a problem.
So you're telling me that when you wake up and you go to the bathroom, you don't bring your phone with you?
Not all the times. No, I try. For me personally, that's one thing that I try not to do every morning is check my phone. Because I feel like if that's how you start your morning, then you're consuming your life based on your phone.
That explains all those missed calls. at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's why I didn't call you until I was all settled and
About 3
at
o'clock.
work, drinking my cup of coffee.
I don't think you're her favorite brother.
I don't think so either.
You are.
The fact that we have to tell ourselves to not check our phones in
I
the
mean,
morning. that's already a problem.
Yeah, it is, honestly, and it is. But like I said, like you don't want to let it consume you. You know, I did put on Instagram like, what are your thoughts on like social media? I had a lot of people respond, and I also had to ask the question: Do you think social media is like a good or bad thing, right? And or do you think this generation is a sad generation and fake pictures? You know, a lot of people said yes,
Mm.
which was surprisingly. I would say only 3 people said no.
It's not a problem. Do you think that says more about social media than the people themselves?
No, I think it says more about people.
There's a great philosopher one time said, with great power comes great
Oh,
responsibility.
bro. Oh, I was
Ooh.
practicing to say that. That's my
Wow.
Uncle Ben, bro. I
Oh.
was practicing to say that. That was Uncle Ben.
Woo! I can read your mind, RD. Stop talking shit about me. Anyway.
Dang, I was gonna say that, but that's a great point. I feel like social media is a great and a powerful tool, and like apparently our Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's what I'm most afraid of because I don't think that we're teaching our kids how to be responsible with it. I feel like it could get out of hands.
Social
I-
media.
Social media, bro.
Yes, I
The fact
agree.
you can date now on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
Kimberly said,
it
you
does.
can buy stuff on Facebook. You can creep on your ex on Facebook.
It definitely opens kind of a door to somebody else's life in the electronic.
Does it really though?
I mean, you get to see. Sometimes you don't even check on people because you know they're doing good because of the stuff they post.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like the tool is a tool. And the misuse is where I think people have the problem. But you, like Kimberly was saying, you see a lot of sad people posting happy pictures,
Mhm.
Hmm.
Facts.
right? So when you're
Facts.
seeing it, are you really seeing the real story? Or are you really seeing what they're really going through or where they really are in their lives?
Yeah, you don't. It's like that picture that says "Take a selfie, fake a life."
That's how bad it's gotten, though.
But I think that's where it comes to a choice. You know, it's your choice to show what you want and what you don't want to show. You know, but in a sense, it's also good to share sometimes your failures or things that went south or your emotions because that's how we connect as humans. You know, and a lot of people tend to be afraid of representing that sad moment versus representing a fake life, you know?
Why do you think they're afraid to represent that sad moment?
Because a lot of people are afraid
It's not what
to
you do on
be
social
seen.
media.
There's a lot of people that do that. And I'm not going to say like I've sat here and like exposed my personal life because I haven't quite yet, but perhaps it's a good thing, you know? Perhaps it's a good thing to just share your downfalls or your imperfections, you know, because everyone has them.
Are you afraid to share your real life because of what people may say on social media, or
No.
because you're not ready?
No, I'm not afraid.
You're not afraid?
Mm-mm.
So it's that you're not ready to show the real life of Kimberly.
What
Yeah,
about
I'm
this
not
though?
afraid.
Are you afraid to show people your real life, or are you living your life based on what people think of you on social media?
That's a good question.
Mm.
It's a good one.
I would
Right.
say like
It does.
kind of like in the beginning, yeah, you start thinking of like, you know, what do people prefer to see versus what I want to post.
Exactly.
And at some point in my life, I was just like, you know what, screw it. Whoever wants to see my things is going to see it and they're going to support me or they're not.
They can't buy into you
Yeah.
truly if you're not being authentic.
Yeah.
That's why you
exactly.
see some people blow up on social media and some people don't take off. What were you gonna say about that, Drix?
I mean, I lost my train of thought from what I was going to say about that.
I like what Jose said because I feel like social media was a great platform to, connect with people, but it's turning into separated people. And I feel that like the more you try to show who you are, you're losing yourself into pretending, like I said earlier, into pretending to be this person that you are not
Hmm.
for likes. Even though you might think about it that way or you don't, but the fact that it has become something that we do it without us even wanting to do it, I think that's
I think it's becoming more
dangerous.
popular that people say, I'm going to post this because people are going to react to it. They're going to like it a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I
The
think so
reaction
too.
they get out of it.
Or don't post that because people aren't gonna like
Like
it. But I really like this photo. No.
I feel like when you're authentic, truly authentic, you can generate way more interest or the proper interest, right? Because too much interest is bad. But for example, take this show, we're in our garage, right? And in the beginning, it was like, oh, should we not post like the sides of the
I've been lying
garage?
to people. You messed it up. Thank you.
You're one of those.
See,
Thank you.
He's
You
one
guys-
of those.
He's one of
Damn
those.
it.
So I feel like when we do the behind the scenes and everything, we're not hiding the fact that this is where we started. So I feel like, when you get into the game of doing it for likes, that's where we get a lot of the depression coming in, because you're putting all your energy and effort into a picture, a video, whatever it is, a post. And then when people don't react the way you expect them to react, that we're like, as a society, we're already fragile, right? We can't tell people the truth because you're gonna get offended, right? How many lives matter are there right now? And a lot of people are taking it as a joke or out of context for what it's supposed to help, right? But now, if you don't get that attention, now you feel like, man, I'm not good enough. You start
Right.
to hurt yourself, your auto-esteem, right? And it's crazy because one may not do it, but if you do 2 or 3 posts a day, imagine you're not getting the reaction that you want because you're not playing with the algorithm for that specific network. Now you're telling yourself 2 to 3 times a day, I'm not good enough to get the likes that I want.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yikes.
And you start thinking differently.
That's the deep, dark part of the social media
Mhm.
that people go through. This social media can be super depressing. It's like what you just said right now. I mean, it could be super depressing, but it could also be super motivating. And all about however you take it. And social media you can wake up one day and look at social media and see something that made your day, and you're good for the day. But
But
you can
it-
also wake up and see some fucked up shit.
It has
Yeah.
become that way because before it was like, oh, did you see what Driggs posted on social media, right? And it could be that he actually said what he meant for the picture. Nowadays, he's like, you put a picture, he's like, oh, he's trying to say this. You cannot put a United States flag on your social media. All of a sudden, you're a Trump supporter. The other day, for example, I posted on Instagram that I'm gonna run for president. Somebody said, "Oh, so you think what you're saying is that because Kanye did it, you can do it too?" I'm like, no, I never said that. I said that I'm running for president.
But it would take somebody with common sense to know that you're not going to run for president.
But it has
You know?
turned to exactly. But it has turned into that. That now it's like, oh, so what you're saying is this, and it's like, no, what I said is what I posted.
I like that you brought up the positive side of it, right? Because we tend to, as a society, Freud has taught us that we tend to focus on the negative, right?
Mhm.
I wholeheartedly believe in balance, duality, right? RD brought that up when we were talking about the girl on OnlyFans. You said for every reaction, there's there's a reaction, right? That's balance, yin and yang, right?
Mhm.
Heaven and hell. There's so many examples throughout history of balance, and social media is a tool. If you use it for the wrong part of it, you're going to fall off balance and it's going to hurt you. Just like if you use it on the right side of it too much and don't use it as a tool, it can also hurt you. So you got to kind of like walk that fine line and understand that social media doesn't make you. It's just an accent or a tool to get something accomplished. For example, if you're going to dig a hole, like RD does all the time when he's talking on the show, you're not going to use, a screwdriver, right? You're going to use the right tool for the job. So I think, I think that's where it gets lost in translation. And there hasn't been a voice there hasn't been somebody saying, hey, don't feel that way. It hasn't been cool to not be perfect for a while.
And what do you think is the proper way to use social media?
It depends on what you're using it for. If you're going to use it to promote your haircuts, you do an amazing job. Every other post that you put up is your booking link, right? Booksosa.com, which is his link. He does that all the time.
I mean, it goes into saying, like, what would life be today if social media was never involved? You know, would you be a different person? Would I have been a different person? You know, you go on social media and you can create a business. And just like you said, it's all a balance. It's like you have to balance your life, your personal life, with also social media. Not let it consume you, not let it become you. You need to learn to say, not now, not right now. I'm just gonna do what I want to do right now and not care about what others think of me. And it's like social media can be a business or it can define you.
100%.
But people has also, I mean, they have it started. It has started as a business, and they have also hated it. We have seen many people, such as do you guys know who Casey Nasdaq or something like that is? Like he was a vlogger, popular vlogger, and I love his videos and all. But he said, I have to stop. This is getting out of control. Like his vlogs, same as Roman Atwood. I don't know if you guys have heard. His brand is
Who's that?
Roman Atwood. No?
Listen,
Right?
bro.
Are we going to need a fact check on that?
Fact
Hey,
check.
Mr. Fact Check guy, is that
no
a real
offense to the
blogger?
brand, though. No offense to it.
Roman Atwood is an American blogger on YouTube.
Whoa.
I don't know why you didn't believe RD. That's messed
but
up.
His name is upside down in his hat.
They have said, right? They have said, I'm going to use Roman Atwood. He said that he can be a dad, a husband, and a friend because he's vlogging constantly and trying to be what the subscribers wants him to be. You know, which is this. His videos are pretty cool. He's always blowing his stuff up and doing crazy things, and it's fun to watch. But what about when I feel like we have tried so much to become an influencers to the world that we have forgotten to influence the people close to us, our family, our friends, our children. You know,
I think it all comes down to the balance, right? If he says, I'm going to dedicate, if it's a job, right? Because he's generating money
he's
from
one
it.
of them. He's one of them. There's several YouTubers that have said, I'm done with this.
And I don't want to say that the decision was bad, right? I feel like
Shout out to Roman Atwood.
Mm.
doing it for the likes, RD.
RD's all about likes. you
All
know?
about likes. I think it's a question of balance, right? If you're doing that job for 100 hours a week, you're not gonna have time for your family. But if you limit yourself to how much time you're working, right, and how much time you're spending away from your family, there's always peace and balance, right? And I'm not saying that he did it wrong. I'm just using the example. He can get burned out, right? And I don't know what happened with him. But if he were to say, I'm gonna stop at 20 hours a week, this is what I'm gonna dedicate to this blog. If I get the video done, I get it done. If I don't, if I get 2 or 3, whatever it is, I'm stopping at 20 hours and I'm going to spend time with my family. Do you think it'll be a bad thing then?
Just like we talked about in the last video, which you are going to leave the link below or here. Okay, the video here. Can we put the video in his face right now?
Nah.
But anyways, like I told you, at the beginning you're motivated to grow your channel and whatever, and you do it. When do you think you can stop? Like I told you in the other video, it's like I don't think at that point there's a stop. When you're seeing that it's profitable, when you're seeing that it's working, I don't think that it's a machine that I don't think you can stop.
I'm glad you said that. Have you ever heard of the artist named Eminem? Good
Yes,
old
I have.
Marshall Mathers.
Yes, I have.
He did it. Akon did an interview of when they did the song Smack That. And Akon in that interview said that Eminem, so he went to the studio to Detroit. He didn't have the song. He didn't know Eminem. He went to a club, met one of Eminem's friends, and I'm paraphrasing the video. And then he got on the phone with Eminem, and Eminem said, come to the studio. So Akon got to the studio around 4:30, or 5:30. I can't remember the time. And Eminem had left. And he's like, oh, when is he coming back? He's like, oh, he'll be back tomorrow. So he's like, what do you mean? I came to record. And he called him. He's like, hey, where you at? And he goes, oh, I only go to the studio 9 to 5. I take my hour lunch. And at 5, I'm going home. I got to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my kids. And Akon, super successful at the moment and still super successful, said, what do you mean? I go to the studio for like 2 days straight, don't even shower, don't even come out until the job's done. And Eminem, who very little people sold more records than Eminem, has a schedule. And he's able to stay committed to his family because he says, even though he sold millions of records, he's still saying, I'm going to limit how I make my money, which is the studio. And I'm not going to be in here 3 or 4 days at a time. I'm going to be in this studio 9 to 5. I'm going to treat it as my job. And next time, Akon went the next day, went in at 9 a.m. Eminem was there on time to his schedule, to his meeting, to his studio time. They were doing the song. There was like, the hook was done and Eminem was supposed to lay his verse and it was time for lunch. And Eminem said, I'll be back in an hour. I'm going to go eat lunch. And all he had to do was lay a 40-second verse and he didn't postpone his lunch. He said, I'll lay it when he comes back. He's like, you want to come eat to Akon? And Akon said, no, I'm going to finish here. I'm going to finish the hook and the ad-libs. Eminem came back. Akon had the song ready for Eminem. Eminem laid his song down, his verse down.
Are you related to D Money by any chance, bro?
I cannot confirm or deny that. But that's a perfect example of somebody that's at the mountaintop of success in their field, and he himself limits how much he's going to be recording for.
I get you, and
Nice respect.
and
I
respect.
agree. I agree that that's how you should treat any job. You start recording videos, you're making a profit off of it. It's a job, but you need to know when to take off your hat, your working hat off, and when it's your life.
But that's when we see it as a job, and that's not the case for a lot of people.
But the thing
The
is that
majority.
they get confused because a passion can still be a job,
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to ask the most important opinion on the show.
Wait, you gonna call him right now?
I'm going to call him.
Bro,
right
he's
now.
All right,
late.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom.
What do you mean?
Bro, he was running late today.
He's
Oh.
never late.
He
Probably
He
coming
is
in.
time.
Did I hear a knock on the garage?
He was here before you.
Just because you there you go. You see what I mean?
He
He's
crawling under,
just
bro.
right there.
Hey,
wrong with that guy?
D Money, you use the seat to sit in.
D-Money, you good?
Did he just grow a beard?
I did. Thank you for noticing.
Ask him the question. He only answers to you, Jose.
D Money doesn't answer to anybody, and I will not claim that for risk of my own personal safety.
Let's see.
D Money, RD said that, and RD wants to ask you a question.
D Money, what do you think
Ask
about
nicely.
today's topic?
Social media.
Well, look. So on the one hand, you've got the negative aspect of having your sense of approval or disapproval tied to your presence on social media. But that being said, there's definitely some positives. I would say one big positive being able to share photographic images. And if you think about how far we've come, now you can pull out your phone and you can instantly share a picture of a cool hiking spot, something that's going on, whatever, with millions of people, whoever wants to see it. Whereas if we went all the way back to where this started, the first photograph was the daguerreotype in the 1830s. And if you wanted to do that, you would have to have the plaque. So it was a copper plaque that had a silver lining, and you'd have to expose your subject from between 5 to 60 seconds, and they weren't allowed to move. And then after it was over, you had to put it in a special box with mercury and then take it out and dry it, and then expose it to iodine and other chemicals and take it out and dry it. And then after that, you would have a silver, or the silver would be gone, but you'd have a copper plaque with your subject hopefully in focus on it. And now you can pull out your phone and you can take 1 million photos in 60 seconds.
How are you calling me and speaking at the same time? Wow.
It's called phone, Jose.
Whoa. D-Money, guys. I just
Bring
had
that
questions.
shit.
I just had questions.
Oh,
not
you had a
notes.
question.
I had questions for all you guys.
Okay.
Would you guys still have social media if it wasn't for free?
Good
Yes.
question.
Anything, I'm going to break it down for you guys right now. Anything that is free is not free. When it is free, you are the product. Your clicks attract, your swipes attract, how much time you're on, what you're viewing. Anything that is free, you are the product.
Man,
And that's
you
from
really
email
watched
to
that
social media.
documentary yesterday, huh?
Huh?
You really did watch that documentary.
Yeah.
First of all,
he
he
was watching it
Hey,
in the morning,
hey,
writing down
fact check
things.
guy. Let him know. Let him know, fact check guy. Tell him I know about computers.
He does.
Yeah, so does Netflix, bro.
How does he come through?
Thanks,
when we
fact
have
check
that?
guy. I appreciate that.
I mean, if he was free, if he wasn't free, I probably wouldn't have gotten there. Bro, I barely want to download a $1.99 app on my phone, bro.
So speaking of polls, I asked, can you turn off social media? And 85% of the people on my feed said yes.
85.
85%.
Let me
I
see
think
what
they're
my
lying.
people say.
I think they're lying. A lot of people would say that they won't have it, but when will they put that stop into media? When would they actually be like, you know what? I'm deleting the app. When do people actually delete the app? They still have it there and they still want to check up on it.
Mm.
It's addicting. It's a drug.
It is a drug.
Yeah.
I asked, how has social media impacted your life? And he said it was a poll. It was it positive or negative? My man, he just fact checked. And he was 56% said negative, 44% said positive.
Wow. See, I asked, I didn't ask that as a poll. I said, has social media had a positive or negative impact on you? And we have our boy Strand Anthony. What did he say? Sorry, can't work my phone.
While
said
you're
both.
Go ahead.
But I would say it's been more negative than positive.
I think it has. Our fact check guy said that the average person checks their phone every 10 minutes. Fact.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
And now,
Johnny Scissorhands
Mhm.
says, which is very interesting, positive, but it's very easy for it to become negative.
well, just kind of like, I see social media like the cameras on our cars. Nobody wants to check the mirrors nowadays because of the cameras, bro.
Mm.
That's a good analogy, too.
Of course it is, bro.
Don't you get a better picture with the camera, though?
Of course you do, but that's kind of like going back to what Drake said. Nobody wants to check on their friends, on their families, because you see that they're doing well on social media, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Is Zoom social media?
Yes. Oh.
No, I'm saying because
It is part of social media. Like
It is.
anything like in industry, like from back in 1997, they started off with the first official like social media project versus newspapers and allowing that. Like I know I don't remember the website name, but that's how they started off social media, right? And it was just to networking. So they have a lot of social medias that are from like networking to like dating. Is dating like
How many social platforms do you have?
there's a lot of
How many
social
do you have?
a lot.
Which ones?
From
He's trying to get himself.
okay, there was one that caught my eye
is there one that starts with an O?
is no, not quite.
Not quite yet, but after I start seeing 25K.
Or okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the
So-
first social platform you were on?
It's
It was-
degrees.com. So that was the first like social actually like networking thing.
60 degrees.
So yeah, 6 degrees.
Who's correct?
6 degrees.
Jose,
6 Degrees is considered the first social media platform. Launched
Bang.
in
You had that?
I did
1997.
my facts. Yes, I did.
You know what? Maybe I didn't do so much.
Facebook
And-
started as a communication for colleges.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. There you go.
The one
Because
in-
you,
What
bro.
college did it
But the
start
one
in?
How do
in
you see
You know
that
what?
movie?
2000
You
was
know
the
me?
one that kind of triggered me. It was, are you hot or not? So that was like the first kind of like determining, like almost like likes, you know, if you were very attractive or not. That's where it kind of like started off as like a,
Whether you judge yourself.
yeah. That's where it went south, I
Do-
would
do
say.
you-
that's
do you
a
think-
deep
Hot or
dark
not? Like, are you kidding me? Are you hot or not? Period.
Do you think social
part.
platforms or social media has a negative or a positive impact on women?
On women?
Yeah, she's the only
I
girl here, bro.
yes, I am.
We can answer as men.
But honestly, I feel like there's a lot more negativity towards a woman because they feel like they need to be
Perfect.
perfect. Yes, I would say that. And at this point in age, like it's like what's more powerful. Oh, I can't even talk.
Powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Like an influencer on social media or a celebrity. What's more powerful now? Is the question on a woman. Like, are the
celebrity?
Kardashians more
Like an
powerful?
actor, you can't
Yeah.
compare any influencer with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, so it's like goes down on that. I feel like a lot of women kind of like want to be the very best or see it as an influencer. It's like they started off nothing and here they are versus a celebrity.
Well, I think influencers has a negative connotation. Like you're influencing a group of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? That doesn't mean you're
Your
self-
followers is just the amount of people that you can influence, or the
you
You're
can influence
rich.
people that are not like following you. What I'm saying is like people confuse influencer with celebrity,
yes,
right? You know, like you can have 1 million followers. Does that mean you're a celebrity?
Absolutely.
That's the
Well,
thing that
no,
goes
but-
into play, though. Do people know you in real life, or do people know you on social media?
Okay, is Cardi B an influencer or a celebrity?
She's a stripper.
No, it's,
So she
I consider her.
she influences you to give her money.
A celebrity, I would say.
I
Um,
consider her a celebrity.
She
Safe
calls
to
that
say.
a hustle.
Hey, it's safe to say she's a celebrity.
Yeah, she's a
because
celebrity.
she has a platform aside from social media. You know what I mean? Like she can perform and she can go about her own life aside from social media. Social media will follow her, not her follow social media at that. I mean, I feel like at that type of platform, you would feel like that. Like social media is just gonna follow behind you because you're already famous as hell.
I think it's a fine line, right? I know people that have 1 million followers. They go to the mall, nobody knows who they are.
True.
It's not a celebrity. You're influential in a certain demographic of people. I'll say in barbering, right? There's people that have 1 million followers. They go to a mall, nobody knows who they are, but they go to a barbering event where their target demographic is, everybody knows who they are. I think a celebrity is you can go to that barber event, you can go to the mall, you can go anywhere, and then you're gonna be recognized. Like what happened with DJ Khaled. He was influencing Snapchat, but he was a celebrity. So he became a celebrity influencer and started generating money off his Snapchat. He went to the mall when his phone broke, and there was 20,000 people in the mall following him. That's
But
not an
it's-
influencer.
But that's what these platforms are pretty much showing the new generation, or even ourselves, where that's what they're pretty much saying. The more followers you have, the more popular you are, to the point that people are even buying followers to be able to reach that level of fame.
Right.
Right? Do you guys think Zoom is a social media platform? I say yes.
Yes, I agree.
I think that one's on the fence.
Yes.
For example, if you don't know, they have the free plan where you can get, I don't know how many people on there for 40 minutes. But if you don't get the invite code, you can't come in.
But it's when was Zoom created? When was Zoom created? Because I just heard about Zoom on April this year.
Zoom's been out for a while. That's how companies were mitigating the cost,
Kind of like Skype, right?
kind of like Skype.
Yeah.
It was a competitor to Skype, which I think Zoom came first. If you were in New York and you had to meet somebody in California, instead of flying there, you can pull them up on your screen. But that's not like you're not gonna post something on Zoom and then people are gonna like or not
Yet.
like. I don't think it will.
Bro, in a Snapchat, you can see where your friends are at in the map.
But that's always been Snapchat.
That's why you gotta
You need to
stay
take it
private.
off. You gotta take it off.
Yeah,
Ghost
you-
yourself.
that's been Snapchat from the very beginning, geotag. Because when you use Snapchat and you were in a basketball game, the stickers for the basketball game came up. That's geotagging. That's where you can see where people are at.
But that's what we're saying about social media, though, that we've seen it. We are being put social media so much in our faces or in our phones, which it will reflect to our faces, that I don't doubt Zoom being a powerful social platform like that eventually.
So is it a social platform if you can't post and people can't interact with it?
Yes,
Is it still a social platform?
you're socializing with people.
Yeah,
I just feel like
I agree.
what would be the difference between Zoom and a FaceTime call? Is that Zoom is usually used for business, rather than FaceTime is used to build a personal connection.
And now you can do FaceTime groups now, whereas like I think
Exactly.
8 people or
But-
something.
Yeah.
But
People
how
are
has,
seeing people
for
that you
example, when was Zoom created?
Zoom was created in 2011.
2011, bro. We are what 9 years into Zoom,
Skype
and it's
is older.
already already in schools, universities, businesses. Businesses are realizing right now that it's cheaper to have people at homes and do meetings or whatever they gotta do through a Zoom call. They're actually being in an office. So that's 9 years. What's gonna happen 9 years from now?
Yeah, but you gotta give credit to what happened. We'll put the
No, I'm not putting Zoom down. I'm not saying.
no.
that,
I'm
but
saying
we're
like
talking
if
about
we didn't
social
have a
media.
pandemic,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't be used now, right? I think we were fighting technology for a long time. I think Zoom's good because you can.
So you're saying you're technically saying that social medias can adapt to.
So- I don't consider Zoom a social media because it's a closed network. It has to be open. It has to be where you can post and people react to the post and you can archive it. You can do whatever you want with the post. Zoom is closed. You cannot, if I have a Zoom call and I have 30 people on there, unless you have the Zoom ID, you cannot get into that call.
if you have 30 friends there, are you socializing?
But that's socializing, not social media.
Well,
Media.
You're socializing through a media, through a
But
platform.
like Drake said, what's the difference between that and a FaceTime call? The only difference with Zoom is that you can add more people to it.
About 100, right?
About 100, but that's
Oh.
still you're socializing. You can use it to socialize, but it's not social media, in my opinion, because it's closed. You don't have the opportunity to react or post anything. And then once those 40 minutes are up, then it ends.
But
You're
it
not
could,
open to public. You're not open
it
to
could
public.
be. My thing is that I feel like these platforms could turn into that.
Okay, it's a social platform, but is it used by the masses? That's another component of social media because you may have a specific community on there and that community can be all positive and you're not really getting the manual of like an Instagram, right? You're not getting it could go either way. For example, you're getting only the people of that platform. I think they can adapt and merge, but do you really think
WhatsApp is social media.
WhatsApp is like a phone?
Yeah, that's different.
It's still social media.
Yeah,
But it's still a phone.
Isn't it considered
Bro, how many
social
excuses are you gonna put?
I
Can
feel
you,
like
if
They
I don't
are
give you,
social media.
if I
bro.
don't give you my WhatsApp number, can you find me on WhatsApp?
I don't think so.
Okay. If I don't give you my Zoom ID number, can you find me on Zoom?
I don't think so.
Right.
It's social media. Fact check, guy. Is Zoom a social media platform?
But if he looks up hashtag RD Barber,
You're gonna find them on
Where
Instagram,
is he gonna be
Twitter,
able to find you?
Facebook.
No, if I don't hashtag it.
if you Google your name right now, RD Barber, Google it right now for yourself.
I have tried, bro, and it's nothing there.
Oh,
Oh, that sucks for
sorry.
him.
Sorry.
Page 10. I think it has to be that. But I'll ask you this question. Since we're talking about the evolution of social media, is there going to be a different platform?
Yes,
Okay,
Um,
absolutely, bro. You know how many of the freaking TikTok at the beginning of TikTok, how many ads I saw, and I thought it was whack, and then it blew up.
So do you think TikTok's, how old do you think TikTok is?
I have no clue.
my guess is
Do you know?
2808.
Do you know?
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's old,
let me
right?
guess.
2011,
I want to say it's at least 5 years old.
That's not pretty
2014.
old.
2008.
That is really old for a social
Let me
media.
see.
Fact
You
check
got it.
guy,
let's hear
it.
Quick with it.
TikTok was created in September 2016.
Oh,
I'm there. I'm right on the money.
That's not pretty old, bro.
I hit.
That's
I
pretty
hit.
young.
I'm
year
right
off.
there. I'm
1 year
right
off.
there.
That
1
was
year
not pretty
off.
old.
That is
but
pretty
I
old.
think
No.
it became.
Okay, how many social media platforms you think are older than TikTok, and they haven't gained the traction? There was one last year. I forgot what the name was that people were trying to make it popular. It's just one. I don't see Facebook being dethroned, no matter how much you try.
Oh, Facebook owns Instagram, WhatsApp.
Now, it used to not be
now.
like that though.
Yeah,
But still,
but what happens is big fish eat the little fish, right? So for social media to come and be popular and stick, look at what TikTok had to do. TikTok's not American made, it's Chinese made.
China.
And like Zoom, when you're on Zoom, your information, your security of your data is compromised when you're on Zoom, just like it is on TikTok. That's why they're trying to make an American company invest in it, so that way that we're going to have American rules on it. And I'm completely paraphrasing, but a lot of people don't know the dangers of that.
Yeah, but you asked, would there be another social media? Absolutely.
As big as the big three, I don't think those will get dethroned.
I don't know, bro. So MySpace also thought the same.
MySpace didn't adapt to the times. Facebook is adapting to the times over and over again
But it still got dethroned.
because they didn't adapt.
Whatever the circumstances are, they got dethroned.
Facebook would have got dethroned. Facebook was a communication tool for your college.
Mhm.
That's how Facebook started. It was for you to communicate with other students in your own college, not the world. And then they went to all colleges, or like the East Coast colleges. Then they went to all colleges. Then they went to finding friends and family. With it, when you first went on Facebook, you needed a college ID to sign up for it.
I think based on the one documentary that I didn't finish, but I was able to. You touched something earlier. It was on like that they're tracking everything that we do, so they're gonna keep putting this stuff into our brains to keep going back to it. So, I mean, if they haven't reinvented the next move, if they haven't made the next move, they will based on us.
But they can only influence the people that want to be influenced. Right now, if I give you a drink, are you going to drink it?
No,
It's the same thing with social media.
doubt it.
It's the same thing.
It's on your phone, bro.
It doesn't matter if it's on your phone. You
The
have
moment
the
you turn
willpower.
up, the moment you unlock your phone,
Mhm.
you're already hooked.
Your phone doesn't come with social media installed.
No, but you have them, no? So the moment you have a phone, you have social media.
You have to
Your
install
phone
it.
comes with YouTube.
No, it doesn't.
Well, where's your
iPhone does.
control though?
Huh?
It's just like, okay, here's a drink. Where's
Mhm.
your control? You can honestly say no, and that person will try to pursue you, right?
Right. Now
But you can
imagine
still
us
say,
vibing.
no, I'm not.
But that's one time.
Yeah. But
That's
it's
one
just
time.
the same
But if
like
you keep
social
getting
media.
drinks
But
offers,
exactly. If you keep getting asked, if I keep getting asked for drinks and drinks, just for me to say, you know what, yeah, fine, I'll take it. If you guys want to stop, I'll take it. Right. But your phone, you wake up and you go to your phone, you unlock your phone in the morning.
Were you programmed to do that?
Absolutely.
No.
We all have.
No, you weren't.
I feel like
We all have been programmed to open our phones.
yes and no. Because yes, we are all quick to, but there's not all the time that I open up my Twitter app or all
Can
the time that I
you-
open up my Instagram, like right when I wake up.
Our very efficient fact check guy said that the average person checks their phone every 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes.
Fact check.
Check.
Do you know the people that ran these social media platforms, built the algorithms, CEOs, and all this stuff, don't allow their kids to not be on social media, but not to have iPads, phones, and stuff like that?
The people who
Most.
built that.
Most people.
Mhm.
Bill Gates doesn't allow his kids to have tablets. And that's Bill Gates. So I think it's just a product of your environment.
But because he's got probably other type of stuff.
Or he knows about the addiction of it and is doing his best to curb it. We limit our kids' time on the tablet. Like I can tell you exactly how many hours and stuff they're on it and what they can't see and what they can't see. And it's like, okay, your time's up. Go play, go do something else besides be on the tablet. So I think it's just a product of your environment. If you're going to let it control you, it's going to 100% run you over.
But that's right now that your kids got to do whatever you say. What about 10, 15 years from now where you have no control of that?
Well, it's not just do whatever I say, it's why. For example, so you're telling me by your example, if you train your son to be a gentleman, 15 years down the line,
He
gonna
can
say-
change, yes.
I'm not saying that he can't change, but what's the probability of him changing if you were effective in communicating what a gentleman is?
Bro, you could raise your kid to be a boy and he can decide to be a woman tomorrow.
That's not the question though. What I'm saying is if you were effective in communicating being a gentleman to your son, he's not going to change.
How do you know that you can be effective? You can just try as a parent though.
Do you do anything that your parents did or asked you to do when you were younger now?
I can tell you that very little, bro. Very, very little.
Why do you not do more?
Because I feel like in my parents were 17 and 15 trying to raise a kid, trying to work, they did what they could at the moment that they
So
could.
you found ways to upgrade on the lessons that they gave you. And
Yes.
you're building from it.
Yes.
You're still using the lessons.
I've changed a lot though.
I
But you're
feel
still
like
using the lessons as the building block.
it comes down to this though. Have you ever distracted your son by putting something in his face?
Yes.
Have you ever distracted your son with social
with,
media?
with giving him
With YouTube.
yes, would be like, hey,
Would you
here's the
consider
phone.
YouTube a social media? platform?
Absolutely.
And if your son's on YouTube, what's the chances of him not sliding through that way? And it's scary because think about it. If social media blew up from 1997 to right now, that's 23 years. That's insane, bro. Now think about 23 years from now, your son, I don't know how old.
That's what I'm saying.
Think
bro,
about
like,
23 years from now, your son's gonna see this whole social media as a different platform where, as if we're talking about this, where it's just the beginning.
mhm.
And this thing still has to skyrocket, and it's still gonna skyrocket. We're gonna learn good
It's gonna
information.
keep
we're gonna learn bad
evolving.
information.
So I hear what you guys are saying, and I agree that it's not going to stay where it's at. What I'm saying is, we have the ability and the power to make it for the better. Technology, advances in technology, right? You're talking about 20 years ago, an open heart surgery or certain surgeries meant a death sentence. But we use technology to get better. Why don't we do the same thing with social media? I feel that everybody's saying negative, negative, negative. Not everybody, but a lot of people are saying negative, 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 not trying to adapt with the times and using it for what it is as a tool. Why can't the conversation be how are we going to use social media to better our lives?
Mhm.
Your mom's in Honduras, your son's here. How does your son see your mom?
Like this.
I mean,
'Cause-
agreed to what you're saying. It's always a balance. You know, you need to learn to balance yourself on like social media to your own personal life. You can't let it consume you. You can't blame social media to define you.
That's the thing, though. But also you can't blame social media for evolving as much as you are evolving.
It's going to evolve.
If you're gonna grow up and be a different person, so is social media. Social
It,
media is gonna grow up and just change, and it's gonna be.
it is. It's gonna change within years. Is it gonna change you too?
It's crazy.
You
This-
don't
this
want to
topic
let
is too
something change you because of what society thinks. You want to change because you want to change for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you let society define your change, then that's when you lose yourself.
So society is social media. Safe to say.
No.
Is society
Social media? No.
But is social media moved by society? Because we just experienced that.
That one is true. It is moved
We-
by society.
We experienced the pandemic with Zoom, right? How many kids would not be in school right now if it wasn't for Zoom,
Yeah, a ton.
right?
How many people are still paying for school through Zoom?
That's crazy.
And
But-
I'm
but-
sorry. The question is, how many people are going to paying for universities,
Harvard.
colleges, right? And they're getting their education.
So
in
is
their
it a
rooms.
different education?
I believe so.
Are you learning something different than
I don't
you
know.
would
I'm
in
not going to
person?
school, bro.
It's a the question is, are you learning anything different? What if they're teaching you the same thing?
I don't know. What if you just don't care and disregard it and just let the Zoom?
Another great poet by the name of Jada Kiss from the Locks said, options are a beautiful thing. Social media is good and bad. The option is yours, whether you want to use it for good or bad.
Well, everything in life is gonna be about a choice, bro. You know what I mean? But we're talking about right now what the influence the social media has in people.
But do
No.
you not have the option, whether it be an influence or not, do you have the option to be influenced?
Yeah, but when you have it as such a sneaky way, you don't even realize it, bro.
But
Um,
I think we have a sneaky way of everything, basically.
Mhm.
the girl
You
that
know?
took you out for 4 dates had a sneaky way of doing it.
Exactly. And
You had the option
That
of
has
going to all
never
the
happened.
dates.
So-
and exactly like if you want to drink, like let's say Coke, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you have Coke right there in your refrigerator every single day of your life. You have the choice to drink it or not.
Right, but you have a fridge that you can go and open it even if you have nothing on the fridge, and you know how you have nothing on the fridge, you go and open it because you have a fridge. That's the same example that I put on the phone. Social media, and I'm not against social media, right? Absolutely not. A lot of people families have reconnected through social media. A lot of people have become successful through social media, talking to the real boss of the studio. A lot of people have inspired others to be more fit through social media, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Technology is advancing. That's okay. That's awesome, to be honest. My business is social media is, I mean, my business success, right? It has been through social media, not only because I have posted, but because I have seen knowledge from other people. And I'm not against it. What I'm saying is a big machine. It's a double-edged sword, and I'm with you. And I do agree that people should really inform themselves before even teaching it to our kids. But nowadays, without, and that's where I'm going. Nowadays, without you even noticing, right? Using Drix's example, a lot of parents, he's like, you just shut up here to their kids.
But is that the blame of social media or the blame on the parent?
That
And is social media a reflection of you? Because whether you're looking at good stuff on the media or you're looking at bad stuff on the media, it's still a reflection of what the hell you are interested in. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in dumb shit, you're gonna be watching dumb shit. And if you're interested in motivation shit, you're gonna be seeing motivation shit.
The parent giving the
Exactly.
kid the iPad, here, just be quiet and play, that's a lack of preparation from the parent. That's not social media.
but you're evolving, bro. The moment you have an iPad, oh, come get this iPad. You can get
That's
it
what I'm
all
saying.
you want. You know what I mean?
The problem is not the iPad.
It's
The
the
problem of the
parent.
social media, the problem is the parent that doesn't have the patience to deal with the
I
kid.
agree, and that's what I'm telling you. I agree with you, but we have it on our faces. You can stop it.
We
You,
or you as a parent can stop it.
Everybody,
You
I
know
feel
what I
like
mean?
we just can't stop it because even right now you go to a restaurant, you gotta scan the menu because it's COVID time, it's pandemic. You have to use your phone. You're logging into something that's already
the moment you unlock your phone, like I said, you're already vulnerable to it,
you're
whether
connected
you
to the
like it or
world.
not.
Let's round it out with this question. Are you going to stay on social media knowing both the good and the bad?
Yes.
Why?
Just honestly, like, I think it's a good opportunity to grow. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that would think that social media is bad, but are still on. And why is that? Because at the end of the day, it's part of your life and you're kind of representing something at the end of the day. We are all representing something, whether it's a business, whether it's ourselves, whether it's, finding a new spot, a new location, finding where to travel next. We're all on some sort of social media to know what's coming in and what we should do, which we should inspire, be motivated by. And yes, there are negative factors, but that's about how we consume that negative feature.
That's
I
a good
agree.
answer.
I ain't got an answer, bro. I mean,
I agree.
I think she covered it, but I guess I
I mean,
will.
it's only up to us how we control social media. We can use it to motivate us to the max and to learn new information, but we can also fucking use it to bring us down. And you know what? I try to avoid all that social media. You get into the dark part of social media that
You try to what,
You
bro?
can follow.
Avoid social media. You want me to show people what you send me?
Huh?
Oh, you
I
want me
stopped
to-
following all these pages, bro.
Bro,
I stopped
these
following
dudes
all these
sent me
stupid
a video
pages.
of a rhino taking a poop.
It was funny at the moment.
It's predictable coming from Drix.
Come on, bro.
I say
I
that
stopped following all those pages. I just want to see some motivation.
Instagram, I mean social media in general, it's a great tool, but it's not the only tool. And let's inform ourselves, right? What the possibilities are, or what can these platforms can do in our lives. And at the end of the day, they're platforms, and if they're still going to be there. Even if I delete it off my phone, they're still going to be there, right? And like Kimberly said, that it's part of us, and if it's going to be part of us, then let's try to if we already know the negative, then we can definitely influence the positive on them.
I like that too. I think with social media, once you try to replace face-to-face interactions is when you're going to get into a problem. I think using it for what it is, I don't think there's anything wrong. If everything's done in moderation, water is good for you. You need it to live. But if you drink 10 gallons of water right now, you're going to be in,
You will die.
you're going to
That's
die. I'm not 100% sure.
it. Fact check guy. Can I drink 17 gallons of water
Um,
in 24 hours?
And while he checks that and tell Drakes that he's wrong because he's the one that brought up the fact, I think it's like everything in moderation, you know, like as long as you know what you're using it for and what you're trying to gain out of it, I don't see a problem. But now it's on us to stay educated as what are the problems of it, right? And you see that we walk the line and everything. If you go get a surgery, they're going to give you a really strong sedative, right? If you take that for longer than what the directions are, you're going to become addicted to it. Same thing with social media. It's an addiction, and understanding that there's ways to protect yourself from it as long as we don't take away the face-to-face interaction. Maybe we can limit it, but not fully take it away, or calling somebody, you know, that face-to-face where there's no layer in between, right? So you can see the real one.
But we just went through it, bro, and he worked.
But let us know
Ladies and
what you
gentlemen,
think.
let's
Let
go.
us know what you think down here. Leave your comments. And these subjects that we're touching on, they're so loaded, so heavy, that doesn't mean that we're never going to do another social media episode. You know, so interact with the videos. Let us know what you think, and we're going to take it from there. But thank you for watching.
Like,
Comment.
Subscribe.
that
Let's
was
go,
not
bro.
it.
Let's go, bro.
That was not it.